As per usual, the news has been absolutely insane this week. So Maggie and I are going to gab a little bit about a couple of headlines for you. I love FaceTime. I'm Mallory Hagan.
And I'm Maggie Gelson Burnett. This is Pretty Furious.
Pew, pew, pew.
We're back for another FaceTime.
We're back for a FaceTime again with babyhood and baby breathing.
I was going to say his little baby breaths in the mic are so sweet.
I'm sorry if you're listening to baby breaths in the mic.
No, it's very cute.
We're just living life as it happens right now.
It's very sweet.
It is very sweet. How have you been this week?
God, fine. I mean,
I do know. I
just
do.
like whatever, I guess.
If you're listening and this is also how you feel, just raise your hand.
I just want to say that, I feel like we're in that place. We're definitely in the bad place, but I feel like we're in that spot in the bad place where hypernormalization has fully taken effect. I feel like we are all so used to the tomfoolery and fuckery that's happening in the news that we're just like, oh, Trump wants to start a war with Venezuela? Cool. It just
or
means
the White House is tweeting cuffing season.
Yeah, it just means absolutely nothing anymore.
Ripping families apart. Got it.
It's bonkers. So that's kind of where I'm at. And I'm just I think my nervous system is just slowly waiting for the next awful thing that's gonna come out of the White House. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
And any given day, the awful thing is the headlines they're just never ending. I don't even have words, honestly.
I just can't keep up, man. Shit. I think about people who are doing this for a living, who are journalists. They have a name. Aaron Parnas, he must just be, I don't know how that man's brain functions. I feel like I see headlines come through on my phone and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I tune half of them out because I'm like, well, this is in the hierarchy of needs of what is most important in American society and democracy, these are the things that are above this thing. And it's the thing at the bottom of the pyramid is something terrible, some abortion ban happened in some state. I miss when I never heard anything from the White House for days.
Right? Where you were like, the president? Interesting. Okay.
I haven't heard about him in a while.
Well, I don't know. Let me counter that. This week alone, Trump was denied in Indiana. So the Indiana Senate said no thank you to their gerrymandered maps. So that was one fracture in the Republican Party and the denial of Trump's desires. They tried to, I can't remember the legal term for what's going on with Tish James, but they failed at that. Tish James, that scenario, the court said no. Then we had the first woman and first Democrat to win in Miami in the mayoral race.
I saw that. That's amazing.
In over 30 years. We had a Georgia House seat flip in a plus million district that went Trump. Let's see. What else good has happened this week?
Some good news.
Jasmine Crockett entered the Senate race. I mean, yeah. So that and all of the crazy, insane shit that's happened. But there's some good things that have gone on.
Maybe I'm just so not used to seeing anything good in the news that this week was particularly jarring because I was like, wait a minute, what? There's good stuff happening. This is crazy. So
there's good stuff happening. I like it. Well, before we get into our topics today, we want to make sure everybody's following us at Pretty Furious Pod.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. And if you want to find all of the platforms that we're on, you can just go to prettyfuriouspod.com. And while you're there, if you're looking for something for someone for Christmas, we've got merch out. Cute stuff. We have everything from magnets. I have 10 of them on my refrigerator to...
Oh my God, I need to order some.
Yeah.
Cute.
We've got magnets. We have wine glasses.
Yeah.
And koozies and t-shirts and sweatshirts. So if you're looking for a stocking stuffer or something to give a friend, you can support us and the pod by grabbing some merch at prettyfuriouspod.com.
Yeah. And be sure to follow us on Substack. That is our main hosting platform. I think one of our goals for 2026 is to kind of be more active over on Substack with our subscriber community over there. So please be sure to subscribe over on Substack.
Yeah. Join us over on the stack. Maggie, you can't be pretty furious without being pretty first. Did you bring anything to share with the class this week?
I sure did. This is the Le Shadow Stick from L'Oreal Paris. These are new. I think they're new new eyeshadow sticks that L'Oreal just released. They're very pretty. I'm wearing this one today and I kind of like just buffed it
It's
out so it's like
it's
muted.
much more muted slash
So
brown than it looks in the tube.
that's what it is on in person. It's like this maroon kind of brown
Yeah, I was
shimmery.
gonna say it seems much more pink in
It's
the
very,
tube.
very pretty. It's very, very pretty. I think it looks, I just like diffused it like a shitload on my eyes, but it's very pretty. They last a really long time. They're really creamy. They go on perfectly. I think that I am a huge believer in using like a shadow stick, a liquid eyeshadow, something like that. It is so fast, so easy. If you're a beginner with makeup, these are amazing and they're at a drugstore price. So there you have it. That's my product.
Love that.
What about you?
You know what? The weather, I think, sometimes re-ups certain products in your repertoire. And for me, this is a sleeping mask, but I just use it all day long. So the Laneige lip sleeping mask,
Yes,
or maybe you did this one, but
I
here's a
have done
reminder.
definitely a sleeping mask, but it was not Laneige though.
Well, here's a reminder. First of all, this is like chapstick meets petroleum jelly. And I've had this tube for, I'm embarrassed to say how long. So the stuff lasts forever. I think this size is like $18 or something. So it's
Nice.
definitely not cheap necessarily, but considering how long it lasts, I do love this product. And the wintertime, plus I think just breastfeeding does a lot of like dehydrating you. I
Mm-hmm.
have been just, it just takes like the tiniest amount and
Love
your
it.
lips feel like butter, and I
Love
love
it.
it.
We
I love
love
it.
to see it.
So I would say if you need something like this for yourself, great. But it's also a wonderful stocking stuffer for someone you love. So if you're thinking about your mom or a sister, or honestly, my boys use this product overnight too for their lips.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
great product from Laneige. Laneige, if you're listening.
We'll take a sponsorship. Thank you.
We seem to be mentioning you at least once a week or once a month.
Incredible.
All right, we're pretty. Now we're pretty furious. You got a headline that's made you pretty furious this week?
I sure do. Okay, so my headline is coming from CNN, and this is FDA intends to put its most serious warning on COVID vaccines. They're intending to put a black box warning on
On the
COVID-19
vaccine?
vaccines, correct. Um, this is according to two people who are, quote, familiar with the agency's plans. This is, of course, the latest move by Trump and his health officials. And, you know, we saw this week, too, that the articles of impeachment have been brought forward against RFK Jr. So I don't know. I mean, I think this all just goes to show, like, you know, a lot of people, the speculation around vaccines, particularly the COVID vaccine, has been a long kind of play of the Republican Party. They have utilized that in every capacity in their belt. That's kind of their Trojan horse in terms of like health and is the government protecting us or making us sick, blah, blah, blah. So I find it hysterical that they're putting a literal black box warning, which is reserved for, by the way, things like opioids. You
Mm-hmm.
know, things like OxyContin has a black box warning. Black box warnings make things incredibly difficult to get. That I think we can comfortably assume if there is a black box warning issued to the COVID vaccines, that we can assume that they will be much more difficult to access. I still get a COVID vaccine every season with my flu shot. Like I wonder how this will impact really vulnerable communities too. People who are immunocompromised, people over the age of 65. I just, you know, children. I wonder about all of those communities. So yeah, that's the latest and greatest, folks, from the group that wants to make America healthy again. So
I actually had not even seen that.
yeah,
Maybe, as we already mentioned, buried in all the other insane
yep,
shit that's usually happening.
exactly.
I had not seen that. I am glad to see folks being fed the fuck up with RFK. That part is
Yeah,
nice.
for sure.
Mostly just because, and we both talked about this online, but we haven't here. His comments, the commentary around breastfeeding, it's just shut the fuck up.
Someone who said,
I feel really capable of saying that now as I breastfeed and
I
pump all day long.
saw this girl on Threads who she made a post that said, uh, until you have until you've screamed at 2 a.m. from dropping an ounce of breast milk on the floor, I don't want to hear your fucking opinion on breastfeeding. And I was like, yeah, absolutely.
While my mom was here. My mom is a night owl. She, when he was first born, took the first shift, like stayed up until 2 a.m. with him. so I could sleep that first window. So my mom's always awake, and I came out after my last pump before going to sleep, and I had pumped like 4 ounces, and I dropped it all over the floor.
Oh my
And
God.
I just like stood there, and I just looked at it, and I looked at the floor, and I looked at my mom, and she was like, "It's okay. It's all right." I was like,
I would have sobbed. I would have sobbed.
"No, I couldn't even cry about it. I was just like, you know what? Okay." Because otherwise,
100%.
but I mean, in that same vein, until you've carried your pump to the bathroom because you can't choose between pumping and pooping, don't talk to me.
Fully.
Literally, just don't even talk to me about it. So, yeah, I'm glad to see that more people, specifically, I think some of the women who might have voted in this past election for Trump because of RFK, I'm seeing people start to sort of wake up.
A washed up heroin addict as our
Brainworms.
head of health and human services. Love it.
Olivia's book only sold it sold less than 2,000 copies. So for anyone listening who doesn't know who Olivia is, she's the journalist who allegedly had an affair with RFK and then got fired. And recently she released a book where she talked in detail about their relations. And
I have to look this up. Hang on.
I know, I can't even say what it is that I learned reading this book. Not reading the book, but reading the excerpts from this book.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was really funny to see that it barely sold like 2,000 copies.
The New York Post, this is 4 hours ago, said Olivia Newsey's nauseating memoir about wild RFK Jr. affair sells fewer than 1,200 copies in the first week. That is hysterical.
And if you're listening, just go look it up. She describes a sexual act that is so disgusting to me, I won't even talk about it. And that's coming from the two of us who said gluck gluck in discussing.
Fully. That's coming from two very foul
daddy.
people.
Yeah, I won't even go there. Anyway, that was a long aside. RFK, boo. COVID vaccine, black box, boo.
We hate to see it.
You know what else is a boo? My headline is, I actually don't remember where I saw this, but I have screenshots of it, and it exists, which is the White House Hall of Shame for journalists. Have you seen this?
Yes, I have heard about it. I have not looked in depth, though. I would love to know more.
I would love for you to go Google whitehouse.gov/media bias.
I'm here right now. This is insane material.
That is the White House of the United States of America.
I am crying that they say in this one little blurb, this is just, I have no idea what this is even in reference to, frankly, but it just says CNN host fake Tapper when they're talking about Jake Tapper.
So the thing that is so bizarre about this, if you go to whitehouse.gov/media bias, is that they have determined that there are people in the press who are quote unquote the enemy, right? And not only have they determined that they're the enemy, they have now created a web page where they are essentially calling them out. And it's comical. It's comical, but it's also scary. So
it is I sit here and I laugh, but it's also like quite jarring because they have even categories for, it appears, for these quote offenses. So like this one I was just reading about, Jake Tapper, fake Tapper, is under the category lie. And so they have like a whole section for like lies, and then they do a malpractice section.
Mhm.
And then they do an omission of context section. It's just clickbait. It's really fascinating that they do all of these categories. And this is also essentially designed as almost like what you would find on a parody site. And it's literally the federal government.
But
it
you know
still
what,
is
Maggie?
very jarring.
They are really focused on waste, fraud, and abuse. Because there's nothing more wasteful than a White House room full of staffers who are getting paid, sitting around, drumming up the idea of a media bias portion of the White House website. And then the number of meetings, the people who wrote this stuff, the web development, the amount of time and energy that goes into putting stuff like this on the website Just so ridiculous. But
Your
it should
tax
be,
dollars hard at work.
but really honestly, it should be a warning, right?
Yeah.
They are basically saying disagree with our administration and we will come after you, which is just
And didn't I read earlier this week as well that they will be also putting out a kind of like a person of interest list that is I believe housed within the FBI or something within the DOJ. And it's essentially a list of people who are it's all dedicated to people online. So specifically
like
influencers,
influencers.
news, yeah, the Aaron Parnases of the world who are creating content and talking about their disagreements with this
Hmm.
current administration and with white Christian nationalism, frankly. And so, I mean, I think about that a lot as it relates to this show and as it relates to each of our own, personal content. But I also think to myself, like, well, fuck, if you are coming after somebody who's I'm not even paid to do this, that's pretty depressing that that's on your short list of things to do. So yeah, it's really wild.
Yeah, but this is one of those moments where, you always have people in the comments, we both do, who go, "What rights have you lost? Tell me what rights you've lost." And I just want it to be very clear that this right here is the First Amendment slipping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Slipping. This causes the media and journalists to think twice about pushing back, asking the right questions, fact checking this administration,
Mm-hmm.
because when you fear for your job or you fear for your family or your safety, that is the government coming after you for exercising free speech and the First Amendment. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, coming from the party of free speech, no less.
well, this party says all the things and does the opposite.
Speaking of somebody who says all the things and does the opposite, our buddy old pal, Erika Kirk, this week.
Listen,
Pew, pew, pew.
tell me why the two videos in my life that have gone viral are me literally with
Talking
unbrushed
about
teeth.
Charlie Kirk and Erika Kirk.
Well, that, yes, in my robe with not even a toothbrush to my name. It's just,
okay. It's okay.
I don't understand why that's the look that's really touching people here, but nonetheless, yes, Erika Kirk did a round of interviews this week. So many, in fact, that it led me to question, where the fuck are her kids?
Does she
And if they're with
have
the
a
nanny,
quote job?
why?
Yeah.
Is she, I don't know, working?
I love how every single time she does an interview, well, she brings her that poor Kleenex who is just like a paid actor at this point.
I was gonna say they're gonna be sponsoring her before long. She's gonna be in Kleenex ads going.
The poor Kleenex that she holds that never touches a tear. And it's like, I don't even know how she gets her eyeballs to do this trick. But
lizard?
She looks up so far and she like she's looking up at the sky. And I just love seeing all of the tweets and stuff like that say, "Bitch, why are you looking up? He's not up." And I'm like, your deity and your husband are not up there, sister.
I sent you a video that, to be fair, my mom sent me first. She was like, "Look at her eyes."
Yeah.
She does transition from happy, nice, whatever. Like she's like, ha ha ha, and then she goes,
"Can we run the clip?" Let me pull this up. Okay, so Erika Kirk does the crazy eye look thing where she looks up, but then she also does this thing that you sent me, this interview she did, I think with CBS, and we need to look. I'm gonna run the clip, and y'all just watch her face. Hang on, right here.
But you have to, honestly, you have to rewind it and start
Hang
where
on,
she's.
one more time. We
Start,
gotta go back.
Start where she's happy. She's happy.
At one time, a friend of Charlie's. At one time, an employee of Turning Point.
She's getting more and more angry.
Conspiracies, and she is making a huge amount of money on it. She is building her business.
This bitch is fucking nuts, okay? I looked at that and I said to myself, what you are seeing in real time here is a sociopath. This is a sociopath in real time.
It was, first of all, it was acting. Second of all, the way she turned into Jafar or actually the snake. You know the snake from Aladdin?
Yeah.
Well, Jafar is a snake. He turns into the snake. But all of a sudden you're like, whoa.
What's so interesting though is that I have given that look, that stare, like I think every woman has given that stare at some point in her
Sure.
life. I have only probably used that look on record maybe like a couple of times. And almost all included an ex-boyfriend of sorts, like walking into an establishment that I happen to frequent. Know
very
that she,
specific.
yeah, you know that that's like natural for her almost to just pull that out. It's so hard to describe. It's almost like it's natural, but it's obviously not. It's the most bizarre thing to watch in real time when she does these interviews.
Of which there were many.
Yeah, she did a whole tour.
So the thing that Erika Kirk is asking people for is privacy, because people are starting to wonder, where's Charlie? Which we have been asking, by the way. If you haven't listened to our episode with Caroline, who used to work at Turning Point USA, this is a great time to go do that, where we went much more in depth about everything that has happened post CK. But this woman, first of all, the death was tragically public. That is tragic and awful. But so was everything that transpired after that. The 48 hours later, she's in a white pantsuit in the podcast studio, angrily saying basically
about his body on the fucking internet, like his corpse on her Instagram page. Like, ugh, God.
But then, you know, people like Candace Owens have been saying something's not right here. Something's amiss. That's what's made her angry. Erika Kirk is angry that people are questioning where he is, where was he buried, why is there not any more investigation into the shooter? Yeah. There's a lot of people who are asking questions, and she did a media tour to essentially say that they would like for us to stop asking questions.
Like, go fuck yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm sorry. You made all of this public, and now suddenly we're supposed to not ask about the rest of the story? Yeah.
You did this. Like, you publicized your husband's, yes, incredibly tragic, awful, horrific assassination. You used it as leverage to then now go on a media tour for a allegedly an upcoming book that's going to be released. And the government, I think this is the part that I get so held up on, is like, the government made such a big deal of taking his death and making it the country's problem and making it the country's responsibility to observe let's be clear, an alt-right Christian nationalist who is a podcaster's death. So I would like to know, when Joe Rogan dies, are we also going to put flags at half-mast? Like, is that something that's going... So anyway, just to clear up who the fuck this man was. And then they say, we're going to do a remembrance day. We're going to, all of our administration's going to fly to Arizona. We're going to do this big hoopla for his funeral, blah, 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 all of the things. And
with
then
pyrotechnics.
And then you're going to incorporate all of the pyrotechnics. And then you're going to incorporate rhetoric about trans people into the conversation about the person who did this. And then you're going to expect the American people to abide by all of that fuckery, to listen to it, to watch it, to make sure that they're doing the flags and listening to the news and all of that bullshit. And then you go radio fucking silent. And then where is your responsibility to the American people that you brought this all up to, by the way, like you brought this upon? Where's the responsibility to all of us wondering, well, what the fuck now? What are we going to ever hear about any of this?
Question. And I forgot about the whole book element of the media tour.
Yeah.
Was this a book that was already written?
That's a great question. And I suspect no, which once again would imply that we are using our husband's death as a way to gain notoriety, to gain status, to gain money, etc. And also, let's be abundantly clear that there is no fucking way in hell that there was ever any ounce of the book that would have been written by Erika Kirk herself. There would have been a ghostwriter who had been hired to do this. So I just want to make that clear.
It's just a very fast turnaround. I mean, even with the ghostwriter, it's a super fast turnaround.
Yeah, it is.
One thing that I pointed out online, and one of the things that makes me the most irritated about Erika Kirk is that she is educated, first of all, and she has on numerous occasions espoused publicly that women should basically submit to their husbands, stay at home, and be moms. That's our highest calling. That's what she and Charlie spoke about on a regular basis. And Erika Kirk is in fact now the CEO of a national multi-million dollar nonprofit, which by the way, that's not normal. When a CEO passes away, their wife becoming the CEO is not normal.
A thing. Yeah.
It's not how that works. Where she presumably also has access to millions of dollars as the CEO. And so she is working with her degrees that she has. She's not at home with her children that are likely extremely traumatized. So I'm just wondering when, again, the conservative right is going to do what they say we should do. Like
Right.
if she's supposed to be at home with her children, that's her highest calling, then go the fuck home.
Yeah.
And shut up.
Yeah, and shut the fuck up. Mallory, I have a question for you that I had thought about earlier, and I even went as far as to write it down, which is when you know it's important.
You were trying to remember it.
I really was. So my question, and this has happened to me multiple times in the comment section of my Erika Kirk wedding dress post that I've made, is what do you say to a woman who says to you that critiquing Erika Kirk, or critiquing even somebody like Erika Kirk, is anti-feminist? Besides shut the fuck up. What is
No. Here's the thing. First of all, Erika Kirk, whether she identifies as one or not, is a feminist. She has exercised the right to all of the luxuries she has in life, and she was able to do that because she was able to get an education. She earns money, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? She is able to make the choices she wants to make, and she should. And I'm okay with that, as long as she's not going around telling other women not to do those things, which is what she has done.
Yeah. I love questions like that when it has to do with somebody who is so very clearly immersed in and benefiting from patriarchy and their own internalized misogyny, because I think it proves the point exactly of what you said, of just how little these people understand about the feminist movement, and so little they understand about women's equality and like what it took for us to even get there, and the everyday luxuries that they get to enjoy that are a piece of that puzzle.
Well, I think it's very important to note that feminism does not absolve you of criticism.
Correct. Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say, is that like that's almost a piece of the puzzle, is being able to look at the concept of feminism, or even other women within whatever, other women more broadly speaking, and say, hey, this thing is antithetical or takes us back in time in terms of this movement that you are actively benefiting from.
But Erika Kirk knows that.
Correct.
And that's the difference. There are people out there who listen to women like Erika Kirk, who's a modern day Phyllis Schlafly. Like, she is saying, don't work, stay at home. You don't need to, you don't need any of these things. You just need to be a wife. You just need to raise your babies, all while working. Now she's not being a wife, and she's not raising her babies. Sorry.
No, fully.
I'm just saying.
Sorry, sister. Yeah, that's real. I find that whole piece of it where they're like, well, critiquing women is not a part of the feminist movement and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you should Google choice feminism and let me know what you find there, because you might enjoy that.
Well, the amount of people in my comments saying, she's just a grieving mother.
She's a grieving widow.
I literally said,
fuck yourself.
Go Google Erika Kirk and come back to me. She's not just anything. This is extremely calculated. She knows what the rhetoric she's spewing is doing to women at large, and she's okay with it because she benefits. She is, as you mentioned, a sociopath. She knows what she's doing, and that's that. Sorry, folks. Sorry if you're still caught up on wanting to defend this woman, but she's fucking crazy. You know who else is crazy? You watched The Beast in Me, didn't you? So did I.
I did. I flew the fuck through that show. I watched it so fast. And I mean, listen, I love, is it Matthew Rhys who plays the psychopath? And then I love Claire Danes. And what I love even more than Claire Danes is all of the videos on TikTok that are like Claire Danes taking a Soul Cycle class. Have you seen those?
No, but But before
They're
we go
so
any
good.
further, if you're listening to this part and you haven't seen this show and you want to watch it, just zip on through.
Yeah, skip ahead.
Skip ahead. Okay. I haven't seen those, but one thing that Kevin and I watching it could not stop laughing at is he was like, first of all, she plays the same character in every show.
She does.
Which is okay, which is fine with me. I don't care. But the word for her is exasperated. She's always like,
Exactly. So
there's so much breathing in her acting.
that's what the videos are like. This one girl does them perfectly. I wish I knew her name, but she does Claire Danes making an appointment. And it's like on the phone, she's like, well, I just was calling to see about, I can't get it next week. And they're like, it's so good. And like
I need to find those.
I literally I can't with her, her like lip quiver she does when she's like, holy fuck. I texted my brother and I was like, Claire Danes really is just a crier at her core. When studios are hiring Claire Danes, they're like, we need a really good crier. Who's somebody who can just cry? Claire Danes, for sure. She will never fuck that up.
I thought the series was so good.
I loved it. Yeah.
Do you know, I don't know the answer. Do you know if it's based on a book or a novel series or anything?
I have no idea. I assume it's probably based off of on a book of sorts, but yeah, I'm not sure. And I'd love to read it.
So good. If you haven't seen it, definitely need to. It just had a lot of really, like it did, I don't know how to describe it. You kind of always knew the answer, but it kept kind of taking you on twists and turns where you were like, is she crazy?
Yeah.
Is this all in her head? I don't know. I felt like it was just so well done. The acting in the show was really good. And you know who's having a moment, I feel like, is Brittany Snow.
I love Brittany Snow. I'm so glad she's back. Yeah.
She was so good in this. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's in Hunting Wives, and like I just feel like she's
in the Murdoch Murders docuseries too.
I didn't know that. Yeah. Look at her.
Yeah. She's had a year. She's had a really good year. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you watched All Her Fault?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
That one.
Okay. I have so many thoughts and feelings about All Her Fault. Like, I love, is it Sarah Snook, I think, who plays, she was in Succession,
Shiv.
was her main role.
I just call her Shiv.
Shiv, yeah, love her. And the guy who plays the husband, he always plays a douchebag. Like, he's just always is a douchebag character, no matter what he's in.
What is he from?
He was in Girls, and then he was in season 1 of White Lotus. He played the fiance or the husband.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he's the perfect face for it. He's just perfect
really
for that
is.
role.
Yeah. And I liked it a lot. I thought that I don't know, there was something about it was really like melodramatic. Like there was a lot of parts where I was like, God, this is a little like Days of Our Lives, you know, but I did really enjoy it.
I enjoyed it. I think the actress that bothered me the most was the nanny, without giving too much away. The nanny who, well, I guess just skip ahead. The nanny who kidnapped, what do you even call her, right? She was, to me, the worst actress on the show, even though her storyline ended up being obviously the most
pretty
important.
Good. Yeah.
So I thought that was like a misstep in casting on my end.
Yeah.
But the twists and turns in that story, and just sort of the nuances of those characters and why they made decisions that they made and how long they let stories go on. I was like, wow, that was not what I expected.
Yeah, it was good. I definitely think I preferred The Beast in Me to All Her Fault, but I did think that the sort of like play on a mom's responsibility and like women's roles I thought was really interesting, and I really enjoyed that.
And I loved that it fit all three storylines.
Yeah.
You know, the All Her Fault element fit every piece of the puzzle. To include the sibling dynamic and the parental. And I also found it interesting because I do think that this show will be widely watched by men.
Yeah, totally.
That there was so much commentary about the mental load and what women deal with, and That's just, to me, the first time I've ever seen that in a scripted show.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
so in your face, this is a problem.
Yeah. Like when she's like waking up in the middle of the night and then she does all the research on like sleep training or whatever. And I was like, yeah, that is what happens. So yeah.
It is. I also found it to be, it's almost comical how every moment in that show where there was something like that present, Kevin was somewhere else. I thought to myself at one point, is this a joke? Like every time there was a moment where it was like really in your
Yeah.
face, I was like, my husband's in the bathroom.
Where's he at?
I'm rewinding it. You missed this part.
You missed it. It's really important. Really important to the plot line.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Man. Well,
Both very good.
Speaking of the plot line, I may or may not have, in the middle of the night, watched the first 2 episodes of the Eras Tour docuseries.
Hey, what'd you think? What do you think so far?
Did you watch any of it?
No. And here's my thing. I have real beef with Taylor Swift. Like
Everyone does.
I just like can't. I kept seeing the commercials while I was trying to watch like Christmas movies and stuff. And I was just like, bitch, shut the fuck up.
And there's the obvious like consumerism beef. What's keeping you from wanting to press play? You know you're going to watch it, but what's keeping you from wanting to?
I do know I'm going to watch it. I think that I have had a real struggle with her since going to the Eras Tour, frankly. And kind of just observing how much money you spend to go to a show like that. Of course, it was amazing. Of course, I had a great time. And then kind of, I feel like when she started dating Travis Kelce, she's just kind of like constantly in our faces. And I frankly have fatigue of just seeing her always. There's always something in the headlines about her. There's always something that somebody's sharing about. They rented this house in Rhode Island for their wedding. And I just keep thinking to myself, no one cares. The entire world is fucking grumbling. So I don't know. I understand it's not necessarily like her fault that she's showing up in the headlines. It's not like she's like,
Yeah,
but it's not entirely her fault. These publications know that she will get viewers and know that they will make money off of it. So I get it. But I think it's the billionaire of it all, the kind of like my own quote unquote awakening of the last year or two. This is not ethical. Like there is no way to be ethical in this. I think that's really what I struggle with the most. But mostly I think a lot of it is I have Taylor Swift fatigue right now. So yeah, you know.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings about Taylor Swift, but I always have. I never got fully on the Taylor train. And I think part of it is that I find her talent in songwriting and storytelling to be so incredible. I admire the way her brain works and all of that. I think she has immense talent. And it is clear that she also works extremely hard. And those are things that I find it very difficult to deny her of, obviously.
Yeah, totally.
There's something about the gosh golly gee demeanor that I can't stand.
Same.
It's like, I can't stand it.
She's goofy. She's literally goofy.
But it doesn't feel authentic always.
But she's also like, I read this somewhere and I can't stop thinking about it. It's like she's still trying to play like a dumb teenage girl and she's 35. And you're like, bitch, come on. Like, you have to evolve at some point. So I totally get that. Yeah.
Yes. So my thoughts, first 2 episodes. First of all, I love any type of docu about a tour. The behind the scenes, as a kid who grew up in a dance studio and dreamed of like dancing on tour stages, anything behind the scenes I find fascinating.
Yeah.
And as someone who has had just the tiniest glimpse into the industry, being able to comprehend the magnitude of what they accomplished. I mean, just logistics alone.
Yeah, totally.
Never mind the show. The amount of people and everything that goes into putting on a show like that is so impressive. What I have found in the first 2 episodes that are available, there's a nice emphasis on storylines of people within the tour that are not her. So you learn about, I think he's a bassist that's been with her since 2007. You learn about Cam, the dancer who's on the tour, and his family and how he came to be. And so I really appreciate that it's not just like, here's why we made all these choices, right? You learn about the people who make up the production and whether it is fabricated for public image or not, she is extremely, whether it's fabricated or not, she acknowledges at every turn that this was a group effort, right? Like she continually says, we have the best in the business and we couldn't do it without them. And because they were able to learn this show and revamp the show in 2 months and learn, their surprise numbers in the middle of the night, like we were able to pull off all of these really cool secrets and all of that kind of stuff. So I find that to be, I like stuff like that.
Yeah, totally.
Where the star of the show recognizes that they wouldn't be who they are unless they had surrounded themselves with those type of folks. So far, I'm obviously going to watch all of it out of pure curiosity. And I like learning about the storylines. Her and Travis like talking on the phone. I was like,
yeah, I don't
baby,
care. Yeah.
baby, I'm so happy. Baby, I'm so happy.
Ew.
I was like, okay.
Kind of drives me nuts, but I think I to your point, I'm also very fascinated by the logistics of it all. That was something I kept thinking about when I went to the tour, how cool it was to see these different moments happen on stage and how does that happen behind the scenes. And I want all of that information. Is how are they doing this at all, so yeah,
you should totally watch it. And who I have been watching this past week and I'm really excited about, we talked about it earlier in the show, it's Jasmine Crockett.
Yes, Jasmine Crockett running for Senate in Texas. I am very excited for her and for her campaign.
I am super excited for her. And I have to admit, when the conversation around her entering the race first started, I had the thought, I'm sorry, I just don't think, unfortunately, knowing what I know in the world that we live in, that a Black woman can win statewide in Texas. But then started digging into the numbers, and Texas has a much larger population of people of color than I realized.
Yeah,
and not that is the sole reason to vote for someone, and not that everyone who is a person of color is a monolith in that way.
No, that totally makes sense. Yeah, I think a lot of people, myself included, tend to have very, very skewed perceptions of what Texas looks like and sounds like because of the Republican Party having such a grip on that state. But really, Texas is an incredibly diverse state, and I think that we are seeing I think in the last 10 years, we've even seen this kind of the slow shift of these people slowly kind of moving further to the center, if not further left. And so, yeah, I'll be really anxious to see how this Texas Senate race pans out. I think it's going to be really, really good to watch. Yeah.
Did you have a chance to see her announcement video?
I did. Yeah. I loved it.
She's using Trump's words and it's just like her face. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Iconic.
There's just so much there. She's so dynamic and she's so intelligent and so witty, and she's just unlike really any candidate that we've seen probably in our lifetime. So I'm looking forward to it. We have a lot of reasons to look forward to 2026.
Yeah, and apparently I've been seeing that from an astrological standpoint. It's allegedly supposed to be a lot better in 2026. Like 2025 was the year of the snake, which is where you like shed everything. And then 2026 is the year of the horse, which means you like run towards the things you want. So,
well, I'm a resident
astrologer now.
We are gonna run with that, honestly, because shedding is necessary, and we have some big desires and goals for 2026. So ahead of 2026, next week will be our last episode of the year that Pretty Furious was born.
Yay!
And so was Park.
Yeah.
So many things happened this year, but I'm really proud of us. So next week will be our last episode of the year before the new year. And hopefully in the new year, we're on a rocket ship to the moon.
We are. We're going to kill it. I'm very excited for us. I'm very excited for the show.
You sounded so excited. We're going to kill it.
We are, girl. I do believe that.
Yes, girl.
I am very excited for us for the show. I'm very excited for 2026 and what is going to come in all realms, in all of the things.
All of the things. It's going to be a big year.
Stay tuned for our last episode of the year.